On the floor. Floor, I love to dance, so give me more. More till I can't stand, get on the floor. Floor like it's your last chance if you want more. More than here I am.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. Okay, enough with the nonsense, okay? Hey guys, hey! How are you? How are you? How are you, Sam? Okay, it smells lovely in here. I'm making Sloppy Joes, and I'm going to tell you about Sloppy Joe, because I don't believe I've told you about this guy before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. There's been other people like this guy. This is a TMI, so for those of you who are new to my channel, too much information, and this story is going to be way too much information, so if you didn't think I was disgusting before, watch this video, because after it, you will. You'll probably hate me. So, I'm all ready to go. I'm wearing a shirt that's too small for me. I am cooking Sloppy Joes. I have everything set up, so let's get to. Okay guys, so we have our food here. We have the coldest water bottle in the house. Coldie, nice to meet you. This is my Coldie. Okay, so we have quite a spread here. We have the chips like I showed you, Lay's lightly salted barbecue. They're delicious. Quick and super easy Sloppy Joes on these. Look at these brioche buns. Oh, they're so good. And I have here some cherry tomatoes in some creamy dressing. This is creamy cucumber, my favorite dressing since I'm a kid. So let's give you a beauty bite of this. My head's a little cut off, sorry guys. Beauty bite. Tomatoes are sweet. Beauty chip. Now a beauty bite of this Sloppy Joe. I did put 2 slices of jalapeno on it. Sloppy Joe. Beauty bite, Sloppy Joe. Here comes a lipstick mess. I'm just gonna eat for a minute. I've been smelling this cooking and I'm really hungry. I wonder if the chips would be good on the Sloppy Joe. Let's find out. We're gonna be adventurous here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get to a story time. Don't you worry. Might have to censor here and there. This is dedicated to my big girl followers who are sexually active. I'm going to tell you about Sloppy Joe. Now this is during a hoe phase when I was hanging around with that friend of mine whom I went to see Tuesday with, and she had that boyfriend with the van, and I actually remembered something. I want to make a correction from the last story time. His name was not Dave, it was Dan, because I remember her and I laughing together. I know it's mean, and calling him Minivan Dan or Mom Dan Van. Hey, I never said I was a saint in my class, okay? So good. I partied a lot with this person. Like I said, I think she was like, she liked him, but she thought it was extra cool that he had a vehicle, because we didn't. And bars were open later in Quebec, okay? And Quebec is cool too, because you only have to be 18 to drink. I was of age anyways, but I was a very sexual person. Like to experiment back then. You know this. I've told you my 3-way stories, lover stories. So sometimes I wonder how I'm still alive. Like some of the situations I've been in are super dangerous. Like this one. So anyway, we were bored and my friend was like begging Mom Van Dan, it goes so smooth together, to take us to Gatineau Hall to go to bars or dance clubs. And he was like, no, you know, but she always coaxed him into it. So eventually he always had that look on his face like he was miserable doing it, what she asked, but he was gonna get later. So he did it anyway. And we like blared this most annoying music. Loud, rambunctious, drunk, young girls with this Mom Van Dan guy. Ultra conservative. And so we get to the bar. I was at like clubs like every weekend. I loved clubbing. I was still a big girl, but I was maybe like 200 pounds back then. I think. I was like half my size I am now. You'll see why that's useful information later. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. So we get to a club. I don't even remember the name. It was okay. Very crowded. Smelly. Like most crowded clubs full of sex-craved people. Booze, BO, and pheromones, including my own. So, decided to go out for a smoke. I smoked back then. And my friend did too. And my friend kept taking off and like leaving poor Dan, just like looking for her, and like he just looked miserable. I felt so bad. But I tried to be nice to him. He didn't like me. I think he like blamed me for making her go out and be wild and think like, dude, it's the other way around. Your girlfriend's a wildfire. She was before you, and she will be after you. Okay? I don't know why the attitude. Oh well, I'm outside. All of a sudden, this guy walks up to me. He looked like Eddie Murphy. I'm not kidding. And I'm just tanked, and I'm just like, when I'm tanked, I love attention. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, or it didn't at the time. I haven't been tanked like that in years. So, comes up to me. Almost didn't hear him, but came up to me and was like, you want me to eat your... I'm not kidding. He asked if if I wanted him to eat my kitty cat. Alright, that took me off guard, okay? Because back then, I know you're looking at me now, I'm thinking, you would kill somebody if you sat on their face today. But back then I wasn't this size. But even now, if the guy wanted me to sit on it, on his face, I would. I mean, It has happened when I was near this size. There was a period between when I was just getting together with BB, we weren't like super official, and we were both kind of seeing other people sleeping around. Well, I had like another lover on the side. That was my Rwandan lover. And hey, he let me sit on his face, and you know, did he die? No. You know, I just figure he'll tap my ass if he needs air, and that's it. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. This reminds me when I was hanging out one time at my girlfriend's house. Well, it was with my girlfriend at her boyfriend's house. And he just out of nowhere asked me, I'm curious about something. I was like, what? He's like, do fat girls have fat vaginas? And at the time I was like, what? Like, obviously, if we have fat everywhere else, it's going to be bigger down there too. More meatier, you know? And he was like, interesting. You know what, buddy? Don't lie. You wanted to know what it was like to munch on a fat, juicy, fleshy peach instead of licking the same old raisin. Don't lie about it. You're curious. So, I should make merch. Cunnilingus at every size. Anyway, I told you it was TMI. My prude conservative viewers are not going to like this video. I'm surprised I even have any conservative viewers at this point. So, I was kind of like intrigued, like, this man can handle a bigger woman sitting on his friggin' head. And no, I don't want to just lay there and let them do it. I'd rather be the one in control and you can move how you want. Most of the time, men, you know, you got to take control of that sometimes. So, you know, we started talking, and he kind of wouldn't leave me alone. Like, he was really interested in me. So, you know, we were like grinding, dancing, even though I can't dance or shit. He was like trying to get me to dance on him, and my hips are moving all over. He's like, no, damn girl, like this, you know? I was like, what? Sorry. Anyway, at the end of the night, I hadn't seen my friend and Dan for a while. Now, this guy, like, never drinks because he drives, right? But he was, I don't know how she convinced him, but she convinced him he was hammered. Like, he probably only had, like, 2 Smirnoff Ice or something. So, he couldn't drive. Apparently, he wanted to get, like, a hotel room. There was, like, a cheap hotel nearby. And he wanted privacy with her, obviously, because that was, I'm sure he was with her for that reason, just like she was with him for the man, like I said before. So, he wanted to get rid of me. And he had a good job. So, he had money. So, we got 2 hotel rooms. And since this guy was clinging to me like a friggin' booger, for lack of a better analogy, he's like, please let me stay with you, please let me stay with you, you won't regret it. So I was like, okay, I don't want to be alone in the room, you know, I'm still feeling good, we can have some drinks. I think we had some, like, beer or something in the van. And this guy had, like, a lot of weed, so, come on down. I never even got his name, and I don't even think he asked mine. I don't think either of us cared. Anyway, get to the hotel room, everything is just, like, spinning for me. And I go to the bathroom, make sure I'm fresh, if you know what I mean. Because honestly, when I'm drinking, I don't want to be bothered to go to the bathroom all the time, but since you have to, like, once you break the seal, you have to pee all the time. I would just run into the stall, sit down, pee. I was too impatient to wipe. I would drip dry the whole night, so I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm fresh. So, by the time I get out of the bathroom, and the hotel was a dump. Like, Dan Bell could do another dirty room on it. I swear. And I was a bit, like, nervous because, I don't know, I just had a gut feeling about this guy. Like, if he's that, you know, clingy and sexual right away, like, how many other women has he been with, right? And I was just like, I don't know about this. So, it was just like an instinctive thing to kind of stall a bit for some reason. I was just like, put on the crappy TV and like Maury was on at like that hour. And I don't know, it was like all fuzzy and it was like Maury. And I was like, oh, Maury, you know? And he's like, fuck Maury. He's on the bed, like already ready. Like he's just laying there with his arms behind his head, looking at me with this like big log standing up. And I'm just like, oh God. So I was like, I actually started feeling a bit nauseous. So this is a lifesaver for me. I decided this is like divine intervention. I'm like, be patient. It'll be worth it. Playing his own game. And he's like, get your big ass over here. I'm like, just wait. I need to go for a smoke. So I went. I was in a non-smoking room. I think, anyway. I don't know. I wanted to get some air. I'm like, I'll be right back. So I left him there. His wiener in the air. Tree trunk. I went outside. There was like other young people in the room next door and they were partying or whatever. 2 drunk girls were outside too, smoking. And they're like, hey, you're in there with Sloppy Joe, aren't you? And I'm like, who? They're like, Sloppy Joe. Like, I'm Sloppy Joe. She's like, wearing this other. He has a big... And I was like, yeah? Sloppy Joe. I'm like, why do they call him Sloppy Joe? What? Apparently, he's like super nasty. He got a nickname. He goes to that bar frequently. He's like notorious for like bragging about how he loves to go down on and pleasure larger women until they finish all over his face. Thus, Sloppy Joe. She's like, he's nasty. He'll let you do golden showers and everything. And I'm like, whoa, this escalated quickly. She's like, stay away from him. The guy's a dog. He has gonorrhea. She named off like every STD. She's like, he has gonorrhea. He has chlamydia. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know if it's true or not, but I want to find out. So, that was bad. I was like, shit, how am I going to get out of this, you know? So, I went in the room, still laying there, still ready to go, but kind of watching Maury. I go in the bathroom, pretend to throw up. And I come out. Look, I really don't feel good. I'm so sorry. I need to lay down. I need to sleep. He's like, it's okay, baby. It won't take long. I'm like, holy shit. Like, do not take no for it. Like, get the hint. So then I was like, I started my period too. And, And now I can see why they call him Sloppy Joe. He didn't care. That really did make me want to throw up. So I was just kept saying, no, I'm not, I don't feel good. So I just like plopped down on the bed, pretended to like be falling asleep. And eventually we're like, oh man, this is bullshit. And when he left, he like slammed the door. I remember going to my friend's room, which was like down a little bit, like totally crashing their party. I just like walked in too, and like the door was unlocked. I just walked in. She's going nuts, like cowgirl style on him. And it took him a minute to be like, whoa, hey. He was mad. She was happy to see me, but he was like, go in your room. Whatever, Dan. That was delicious. So that was the Sloppy Joe. Girls, I don't know if he's still... I haven't seen him after that. I don't know what happened to him. Was gonorrhea deadly? I don't know. But that was the last time I saw him. Ladies, if you ever go to a club in Gatineau or Hall and you see the man who looks like Eddie Murphy and asks if he can eat your kitty like groceries, just say no. Alright, that's it for me. That was delicious, obviously. It's all gone. Hi, Sam! He always comes around right at the right time. Oh, yes, you do. You're a big man. He's a righteous man. You want to say hi? Say hi, Sam. Oh, you. Okay, guys, that's the cue. See you later. Bye, guys.